Now, when we saw the last passage, we saw that in the beginning it was the opportunity was given, but the king did not use it in the right way. So someone had grabbed and taken it from him and left him to struggle all alone. This is what happens in our life too. And the next we saw that after a long time there came a chance for him where he had to wait for a long time. See, whenever you fall into a temptation and you are left alone, you find nothing, you have to be patient at that time. So that is what the king had done. He was left all alone, quietly, patiently. He would have just thought, how can I take the revenge? How can I teach them a lesson? How can I get my place back? Everything he would have thought. So patiently, whenever you have troubles, you have temptations in your life, you have to be calm. You have to think how to overcome it. You have to be silent. Whereas we can see this king and the brother of Prospero too, what happened? They were as usual. They were like, sometimes we also do the same thing. We never think wisely whenever even though they did illegally, they did not think wisely. But now, when they are fallen in this problem, they are just thinking who's where. They cannot find anyone. They think that he's the only person who's alive. Whereas all are alive in the same place, and the ship is also there, but no one can see each other. So, this is how, when temptation comes, we are totally packed up. We don't know what to do. We are like, oh, what happened? Where is he? Where is she? What should I do next? How can I get out of this place? Everything we will think. That is what they were doing. But the king, he was quiet for so many years, planning, and that's what now he had sent a storm in the sea to teach them a lesson. And how is he going to teach the lesson? See, though he missed the place of being a king, the same opportunity he is giving to his daughter to become a princess of the same place from where he had the enemy. Yeah, of where the princess, he want to send his daughter as a queen of Naples because his enemy was from Naples, and his son, he is using exactly the son of the king for a wife to be the husband where she can get back the place. Do you understand, children? Like, he lost his kingship. Even though he lost his kingship, he wants to give that priority to in his daughter's life. He's doing that back. So we have to realize and we have to act wisely. Now, next, what happened? Let's see. Ariel went and found the young prince, and when he saw him, he said, I was just searching for you because there's a lady, a beautiful lady, a pretty lady called Miranda, and she wants to see you. Come, just have a look. And this fellow was surprised. What is this? I could only hear, I cannot see anyone over here. But still, in that surprise, when he heard that a beautiful, pretty lady, he just wanted to see, and he just followed the voice till the voice took him to the place where Prospero and Miranda were sitting under a shade of a large tree. Now, this Miranda had never seen any person before because she has only seen her father and no one else were there. So now, when she sees him, Prospero tells that what are you looking there? Can you see in page number 23 what you are looking at yonder? Yonder is another word for there. Yonder is another word for there. So he is saying to her, what are you looking there? Because she is seeing someone different than his father, someone other than her father. She sees her father like an old man, all wrinkled, beard, beard and all. But this fellow is young, charming, handsome, no grey hair, no beard, nothing. Very handsome he looks. And so she's just looking at him, and that's what he's asking, what are you looking there? And she's saying, oh father, isn't it something different? Isn't it a spirit? What it is? Look how it looks. Believe me, it is beautiful, she says. It is a beautiful creature. She says creature. She don't even think that he's a human being. She says it's a creature or a spirit. And then she also accepts, no, it is not a spirit. Then her father tells her that this creature can eat and sleep. This creature has sense as you and I have. This young man that you see was in the ship in the sea that you can see. And now see here, I just want to explain you this word. In this line, it says he is somewhat altered by grief. Okay. Now what do you mean by altered? All of you know we alter our dresses, alter the stitchings. Now the same thing. What do you mean by the alter of dress? Means the dress is as it is, but you just change little, either loose or tight. You just tight it. Okay. Little fittings you give. The same thing. We make something different without changing it. You did not change the pattern of the dress. The pattern is as it is, but you changed what? The thing which was loose, you had made it a tight, little tight. The same thing. You won't change, but without changing, you make it a different look. That is alter. So, he is altered by grief. So, he is handsome, but, sorry, but his grief is there, and that's why he may be looking little sad. Otherwise, you would call him a handsome person. He is such a beautiful person, his father is saying. Just because sadness is there, that grief is there, that he is away from his family members, from all the people with whom he had come. Can you see their companions? His father and Antonio and other, maybe their soldiers who all were there in the ship, God knows. So he's away from them, that's why he's sad. Otherwise, if he would have been happy, you could have found a very good, handsome person. Now, Miranda, who thought that all men, as I told you, she thought that all men looks like a father, because all through her life she has been seeing only of her father, and so she thought that men are always like this. But then this prince was so young and beautiful, and when Ferdinand saw this lovely lady in this desert place, he was also taken back. He was surprised. Oh wow, her voice was so good. And the voice which he heard about Ariel, he was like, that voice was such a strange voice. But that voice has got me here. Was it any magic words? Can you see here? The page number 23, right side, first line. Enchanted. What do you mean by enchanted island? The meaning of enchanted is Odiradu. We say in Tamil, mantram odiradu. Yeah, that is enchanted. The magic words. That means those words are magic words. Is this the magic island which has been taken me over here? And that Miranda was the goddess of this island. He really thought, because she was so beautiful lady, he thought that Miranda is the goddess of this island. And this is how he started calling her. Now again, here she timidly answered. What do you mean by timidly? Timidly without courage, whenever you begin something, you have a nervousness, a fearness, that boldness you don't have. That is timidly. So, without courage, with scare and nervousness, she answered that she was not a goddess, but she was just a simple girl, a normal girl, and she wants to give an account to herself about her own life. But when Prospero interrupted them, they were when they both were talking, Prospero came in between and interrupted them, and he did not wanted them to talk because he wanted to test them. He was so happy to see them admiring each other. Like, when they saw each other for the first time, she also liked him, he also liked her. And seeing this, Prospero was very happy because that is what he wanted to take place. But he just wanted to test Ferdinand constancy. What do you mean by constancy? Faithful and dependable. He wanted to see whether Ferdinand is faithful and dependable. Can I depend on him? Can I trust him? Can I believe him that he will really accept my daughter? He will really be happy with my daughter. He just wanted to test him, and for that he threw some difficulties in their way between both of them. And what was that? We will see it in the next slide. But before that, see, when you wait for a long time patiently without a word, you would find something beautiful in your life, as Miranda did see. But we have to be patient. Always be patient so that you can find the best thing in your life. Now children, in the last clip, we saw that Ferdinand admires Miranda and Miranda admires Ferdinand. When Prospero sees this, he is happy because this is what he wanted, that they both must like each other. And when he saw that they both are admiring each other and they started liking each other, he just wanted to put Ferdinand into a test, and there falls the temptation of Ferdinand. So what did he say? He said that Ferdinand is a spy. He tells him that you have come here to spy this island because he is a princess. Because he is a prince, and this is the work of the king and the prince, that they go and spy each and every places. You know what is the meaning of spy? Meaning of spy is to go and search for something, go and see for something without the knowledge of the authority. For example, see here you can see the picture. Whose picture is this? This is a picture of a spy. A spy, a detective. What does a detective do? He comes and finds out things without our own knowledge, and he finds out everything. The secrets, the police. Okay, police also, he also does the same thing. They are very smart. They will smell like dogs, isn't it? So a spy is a person without the knowledge of the king. They will come into the kingdom and find out how big is their place, what is the border, in which place if we come we can attack that people and all. They just do the research. Spy is a person, is the one who does the research of the other people's thing, and then this is how they can attack them. If he comes and spies about each and every place, he will go and report to their king, and he will say that this from this place if we enter, we have good place to hide. If from that side we go, we'll be attacked. But if from this other side if we go, bee can attack them. All these things. They will just find out everything. They will not go as they are. They will change their get-ups. They will go and spy everything and come. So he said that you are a spy. You have come here to spy this island to see what is going on over here. And that is why I'm going to arrest you. I'm going to arrest you. How? How will he arrest? He said, I will tie your neck and feet together. You shall drink sea water. I will not give you water to drink. I will give you the sea water. And how is the sea water? How does the sea water taste? It tastes salty. So if you are thirsty in the desert and you want to, if you are given a sea water, how would you feel at that time? How would you like? Isn't it? And then shell of fish. He will not give fish. He will not give him fish to eat, but just only the shell. Can you imagine eating the shell? How many of you like to eat crab? When we eat crab, do we eat the shell? No, we break the shell and we eat the meat inside. But just imagine eating the shell and throwing the meat out. And then withered roots. Withered, what is the meaning of withered? Withered means helpless, a weak. It is weak. Weak roots of the plants. And then also the husk of acrons. Can you see the picture of acron over here? This nut is called acron. You would have seen in Ice Age, isn't it? Or in any of the cartoons, you would have seen squirrels having this acrons with them. So, acrons, husk. What do you mean by husk? In Tamil, it is called ummi. Okay, do you know people ummi? Nellu ummi. Yes, here we have nellu ummi. But in each and every places, whatever it grows, they have husk of that thing. In north, you can find ummi of wheat, husk of wheat. Now here they will find husk of what? Acrons. Sorry. And also he said that okay, before going to the other line, what is acron actually? Don't say, ma'am, can you see this picture? This is acron, right? Okay. What is acron? Acron is a fruit from an oak tree. It is a fruit from an oak tree. Okay. So how many of you have seen oak tree? Okay, I will show you the picture of an oak tree, and this is the fruit of that tree. Okay, so this is what he said, that you will eat all these things and these things will be your food. So Ferdinand was really upset. Of course he would have been angry how he will allow that, being a prince. So he said, no, I won't allow this to happen. I will resist. What do you mean by resist? Resist means I will ban this, I will stop this. And he drew his sword and he said, why do these people drew sword out of them? To show that I am battling with you. I will have a fight with you. Let's see who wins. Like that. So, but as he drew his sword, what did Prospero do? He just waved his magic wand and made him to just stand still as he was with the sword, so that he may have no power to move, so that he may not move, so that he may not put the sword on the king, Prospero. And then, when seeing this, Miranda just came to her father, just hung upon her. Hung upon her means she was just like, why father, why just disturbing, and saying, why are you being so ungentle? Why don't you have a good heart? Don't you have a good heart? Why are you doing like this to him? Please have mercy on him. Pity, mercy. Please have mercy on him and let him move. Surely I will be his. Surely I will be his. Okay? That means I will marry him or I'll go with him, like that. So, and she says, why does she say this? Because she says that he is the second man that she have ever seen after her father. And she thinks that he is the true one. He is a true one. So, her father, he is just acting. He don't want her daughter to know what he is up to. So, he says, silence, you know, Amiriyaru. This is what you, po, unak theriyadu. Like that he say. Okay, so that's how he said, silence. Don't say a word. If you just speak one word more, I will chid you, girl. Now, what is the meaning of chid? The meaning of chid is scold. Scold, tittiradu, yesiradu. Okay, scold. I will chid you. What an advocate for an impostor. So he says, what do you mean by advocate? Advocate is the person who talks, who comes and talks between two people and make them to solve their problem, isn't it? So he's saying, so you are being a good advocate for this prisoner, okay, for this person, the one whom you don't know. So this is what Prospero tells to her daughter Miranda. And he says, he shouts, keeping on shouting, he continues and he says, do you think that there is no other man than this fellow? Have you not seen Caliban over here? So he said this to prove her daughter's faith. See, he is comparing Ferdinand with Caliban. He is saying, have you not seen Caliban? Why you are saying that he is the only person you have seen after me? So he is comparing, so that he may know. He is testing her daughter, he is testing her faith, he is testing her dependable, that she is still dependent on that Ferdinand or Caliban, because she has been seen Caliban many days. So he wanted to know, what is this? Is she turning back to Caliban, or does she has a good heart for Caliban? And she replied, my affections are most humble. I have no wish to see a goodlier man. So she says, my affections are more humble. What does it mean? She says, the affection towards this fellow is very humble. I am not going to change my thoughts. This man is really a good man, and I have no other wish against that. So now, come on, young man, said Prospero to the prince. You have no power to destroy me. So he says that now you have no power to destroy me. Now come on. And Prospero had commanded him to pile up some heavy logs of wood. So what did Prospero commanded Ferdinand to do? He said, pile up heavy logs. What do you mean by piling up? Piling up is to pick up, collect it as a bundle, make it a bundle and keep it. Okay. So he asked him to pile up some heavy logs. There were heavy logs, you know, woods, which are the trees which have been cut. So the cut trees are called as logs. So he asked him to pile them up together. And king's son, not being much used to labor's work, Miranda soon after found him almost dying with fatigue. So now, being a king's son, of course he would have not done much work. So when he started doing this work, heavy logs, picking up heavy logs and all, of course what happened? He was dying with tiredness. He was very much tired. Fatigue is tired. So at last she said to him, do not work so hard. My father is at his studies. He is safe for these 3 hours. Pray, rest yourself. So she says, don't work so much. Stop it. My father is not here. He is there in his study room. He will not come out of it for next 3 hours. So for the next 3 hours, take easy, make yourself rest and feel free. That's what she says to that man, Ferdinand. Now why does this happen? When this happened, Ferdinand says, oh, I dare not do that. How can I do that? I must finish my task, my work, my goal, my aim before I take my rest. Before taking rest, I have to finish my work. Because this has been an order to me. This has been an order to me. So I have to finish it. Before finishing, I cannot take rest. How do we do? 1 page I have written. Let me take rest. Let me just go around and come. Let me see where are my friends. then I'll come and write the next page. But that is not the right thing. He says, until and unless I finish my work, I am not supposed to take the rest. So then Miranda says, if you will sit down, I will carry logs for you. But Ferdinand would not agree for that. She said, you just take rest. I will do your work. But he said, no, that's not right. Your work someone does, that's not right. But if something is given to you to eat, will you give that to someone else? You will say, no, this is my part. I will eat it, isn't it? So when that is not to be shared, why your job has to be shared? My duty is my duty. I have to do so. So in this passage we have learned that there are times when people put us into temptations, when people test us. Whatever temptations are there in our life, we have to prove ourselves. See here, even though Miranda told her that he is not around, you can cheat him. Yeah, you can cheat him. We can just do our wish. No one is going to bother you. But you know the truth, the loyalty of Ferdinand, what he said? No. Even though he is not here, even though he is not seeing at me, I have to be true in my duty. I have to be true in my work. I have to be faithful. Just think, my dear children, are we faithful in whatever we do? If we are faithful in our life, we can overcome any kind of temptations that comes in our life. Many times we are not faithful to our own self. We cheat our own self. And that is why we find that we end up with a problem. If you don't want to face any kind of problems in your life, we have to be faithful to ourselves first, then to others. If you are faithful to yourself, you will not cheat others. Now when sir tells you, write your homework and come, you will not write the homework. You will write it on the next day or the other day or the end of the week. But that is wrong. You have to be faithful. No, if I don't do this, my work will be increased at the end of the week. So it is best today's work I'll finish today. So if you're faithful with you, you'll be helping yourself to make your work easy. And at the same time, if your sir comes and checks it any moment, you'll be faithful to him. He will say, yes, this fellow every year, right from his first standard of pre-KG, he's been good. He does his work neatly. Never ever he has come here for beating, or never ever he has come here for punishment, or never ever he has come here with his parents for the complaint. You know? So many differences are there. So you will never, but if you don't do that, what happens? You will get beatings, you will get punishments, you will get scoldings, your parents would be asked to come to the office. See all this temptation. Then you have to face your parents, you have to face your teachers, you have to face your principal. So many problems. So my dear children, in our life, always be loyal to yourself. Whether someone is watching over you or not watching over you, that is not a problem for us. What we have to do is we have to be true enough, we have to be faithful, we have to do our work properly. And always we have to see to it that we choose the right thing. That is what Miranda did. She was confirmed, very much confirmed, that Ferdinand, not Caliban. What we do sometimes in our life, we decide something, and after some period of time we say, no. When we see something, no, I don't want this. I think this is better than that. When you go to a shop also, you see two kind of dress. First you like something, then you will see something else, you like that. And when both are placed, you will say, I think first one is better, no? Second one is not good. No, the second one is better. No, we keep on changing. This switching off mode must not be there in our life. We have to be firm in our decision. We have to be very much clear with our own idea that what do we like or what do we want. If we are firm in it, if we are firm in our decision, we can cross all the problems that comes on our way. But if we are not firm, if we keep moving here and there, then we cannot face anything that comes on our way. So, dear children, this is what we have learned, that we have to be faithful so that we can overcome our temptation. We have to be strong in our decisions to move ahead. Now, Prospero was not actually in his study room as his daughter imagined, which he does regularly, but he was invisible and enjoying the sight of his daughter and Ferdinand, because he just wanted to see that how do they behave in this difficult situation. If really Miranda loves him, then definitely she will be supportive to him. So he wanted to see, is it true or false? It was a test for both of them, that he had to pick up the heavy logs. Then Ferdinand asked Miranda for her name, and she told him that she is called Miranda, but it was against his father's command to tell her name to anyone. Then Ferdinand told Miranda about herself. He expressed about her innocence, and also he said that he is going to be the king of Naples, and that he would make her as his queen. And when he said this word, Prospero made himself visible to them and said, "Do not fear, my children, because I was listening to what all you were speaking, and I also agree to your words. I will make you people rich by giving." This is what he is telling to Ferdinand, that I will make you rich by giving my daughter to you as your wife in your future. And all the angries that you had all these times, it was just a trial for you. It was just a temptation. It was just a test for your love. And you have been nobly stood the test. What does it mean? That means he is saying that you have been passed your test. You have overcome your temptations. Now when Prospero left them, immediately after that he left them, and he called the spirit Ariel. And when the Ariel came, he asked them, "So tell me, what is happening in the other side of this island? What is going on?" So he says that the king of Naples and your brother are eager. They are just searching everywhere, here and there, and as they were all extremely tired of searching, and when they were too much of hunger, at that time Ariel just gave a big dine in front of them. And when they all sat to have their food, at that time this fellow angel, he just made the dining table invisible in front of them, and he appeared as a harpy to them. He appeared as a harpy in front of them, and in the shape of a harp, in the shape of a harp, and a warriorous monster. What is that harpy means? A warriorous monster. Now what do you mean by warriorous? Warriorous is the one who is very eager to know about everything. So now with his wings and the feet, as soon as Ariel came there, the dining table disappeared from there. And then he told them everything. That see, long back around 20 years back, what you people have done, around 12 years back, isn't it, if I'm not wrong? Yeah, 12 years back. What you people have done to Prospero and his daughter Miranda. How did you take the kingdom, that is the dukedom, from him? How did you people left him to die? All these things he made them to remember, and as they remembered, he told them that these things which took place now, missing of their son, missing of the people, missing of the ship and everything, all the storm and wind, all these things were just a suffering, just a temptation for them, just an punishment for them because of the past. So now the king of Naples and Antonio, that is the brother of Prospero, they repented. What do you mean by repentation? That means they realized their mistake and they feel sorry for themselves that what they have done. And they were asking for justice. They were saying, oh, we are sorry for what we have done to him. And when Ariel realized that they have really repented for their mistakes, he returned with the king Antonio and old Gonzalo to in front of Prospero. Now this Gonzalo was the counselor who helped Prospero by giving all the provisions of eating food and everything. Now he also provided him with the books, okay, the books and all. So he was very much grateful and thankful to them. And now what happened? He really thanked Gonzalo, and when Antonio saw his brother, tears came from his ears, and he said with sadness and with repenting that, forgive me, my brother. He said, please forgive me. And Prospero also forgave him. He said, okay, I forgive you. And he gave a surprise. He said, okay, fine, let us engage with our kingdom. Let us come back to our kingdom. Okay, let both the kingdom become one. Let both the kingdom become one, because I am going to gift you something special. And then he opened the door of one room, and when the king of Naples saw that his son and Prospero's daughter Miranda was there inside playing chess, now he was very much very much happy when he saw his son over there, and his son was also happy seeing his father there, because the father thought that son has been drowned down in the sea water. So now the king was very much surprised, astonished to see the beautiful girl as Ferdinand was. And he asked, who is that girl? Maid means girl. Who is that girl? So he said, she is the daughter of Prospero, the famous Duke of Milan. This is what said by Ferdinand. And now he said, I have heard about this Prospero but never seen, but today I have seen him and his daughter also. I have received a new life. He is a father to me. He is also a father to me, because he is going to give his daughter to me as my lady, as my woman. As my woman, he is going to give me his daughter. So he is my second father. And then what happened? Prospero said that, now let us not remember all the past. What all happened in the past is over. We should not remember it now anymore, because it has been ended happily. So now you all may live. I forgive you all, and I assure that tomorrow morning I will leave from here and come to our kingdom. Now he also told them that the ship was safe in the harbor, their sailors, their men, everyone was safe there. And he said that he and his daughter would come and join them the next morning. So now before everything would take place, Prospero also released release the good spirit, that is the Ariel, from his job. And he said to the spirit, live your life as you wish, with happily. And the Ariel was very happy that now I'm free. I can do anything on my own. I'm not under anyone, you know. So this is the story, but what is the story exactly relates to our life? How does it relate to our life? We are supposed to think it now. Here, just coming from the beginning, to brush up your mind once again, we see a king and her daughter has been sent out from the palace just because the king's brother wanted to grab something, isn't it? Our life is also like that. We want others' thing. We always look at the others' things, no? What your parents have given you. If your parents have given you a good pen, you won't feel satisfied with that. You will come to your class, you will see your friend's pen, you will say, oh, that pen is much more better than mine. You go home, I want that, I want that. If no one provides you without their knowledge, just steal it, isn't it? This is what we do. But that is what is wrong in our life. That's what this lesson says, that you're not supposed to do that. Antonio did that. Illegally he took his brother. And because you do illegally, you have to do something wrong. Because you have steal the pen, when they will ask you, you have to say a lie. No, I did not. I did not see. I have not taken. This is my father who has given me. You know, see so much of lies. And because, see the same thing, Antonio also, because he had done illegal work, he had to try to kill 2 lives. His brother and his brother's daughter, you know. He was almost trying to kill them by sending them in a small ship in the middle of the sea. And then what happened? Without food and all. And then they went into the island. Someone helped them and they went into the island. They stayed there. And what happened next? They lived there for long. Then one fine day, he tried to teach them a lesson. Every time this won't be there in our life. So while trying to teach the lesson, what happened? He made them to realize each and everyone had temptation in their life. Each and everyone had temptations. Each and everyone had test, that to realize that what we have done is wrong. In our life we may have many kind of temptation. At that time we have to realize why it has come, what wrong we have done. We have to realize, and when we realize, we have to repent, and that is what had been done. When they all came back to Prospero in that island, before that they realized that this is what mistake we have done. We have really done a wrong thing. And since he is alive today, we have been faced this main thing. But if we would have been happy together, today we all would have a happy family. We would have joined together. And when Naples king sees that his son and Prospero's daughter is together, it makes him more happy. So he would have really thought, oh, why I did not think this before? Why I wanted to be an enemy with him? I could have been friend. I thought to be an enemy, but he's showing a friendly hand, not even a friendly, a family. He's thinking me as a family. He's joining both the kingdoms together in relationship, you know. So this is what they realize. So always, before showing enmity, before doing anything wrong, we have to think, we have to realize what we are doing. Never do anything that is wrong. Never do anything which is not legal. And if any time in our life any temptations come, we have to think and realize what wrong we have done. Where have we been wrong? And when we realize, and we need to correct it, we should, if Antonio and Naples king would have thought, oh, I am a king, how can I go and ask forgiveness to him? If they would have thought that, their kingdom would have not joined. Definitely with angry, Prospero would have done something else with his magic. But they bowed themselves, they humbled themselves. When we realize our mistake, we have to accept it no matter whether the person in front of you is big or small than you. Whether the matter is big or small, it doesn't matter. You have to just go and ask forgiveness, realize it, yes, what I have done is wrong, and you must not repeat that again. And since they have done that, the ending was good. Now, what is the moral of the story is, we can see there that it is full of temptation in everyone's life, but forgiveness and freedom. What did the King Prospero do? King Prospero, he forgave both. In this picture you can see three kings, Naples, Prospero and Antonio, and you can see Miranda and Ferdinand together. Okay, so now what happened there? This king forgives them, forgives all whom? Forgives all of them. The king of Naples and the king of and Antonio, and at the same time he releases Ariel from being his servant. See, can you see the last picture? Ariel is very happy and just going off on her own way. Ariel was very happy because now he has not to follow anyone's instruction. He can do whatever he wants. Till now he was supposed to obey the king, but now no need, because the king said, you are free, you can go. So always learn in your life, whenever temptations comes, you have to overcome it. But not only that, at the same time in our life, we have to forgive others and make others release. Never make anyone to be bound to you. We do, right? To our younger brother, sister, or elder brother and sister. If you do this, I will do that. You do this, give me that. I'll tell to the mother. I'll tell to mother, or I will beat you, or I will not give you that. No, this is what we do. No. Give freedom to everyone, and you too be free from your troubles. Okay, children, I hope you understand this lesson very well, and you may use forgiveness and freedom in your life without doing illegal works and overcoming your temptation by sitting quietly and realizing what wrong you have done. Have a happy life. Bye. See you in the next class. Have a nice day.